What up, what up, what up, y'all? What's going on? We're going to get to it in a second. Going to chop through some of the brush, have a quick dialogue. This live ain't going to be long. We're going to jump on it for a couple minutes, see what we got going on. So if everybody in here can hear me, give me a thumbs up over the music. Sometimes I have a tendency to play the music louder than my vocals. I don't want that to be an issue. So if y'all can hear me clearly, the music ain't too loud, let me know. Y'all hear me over the music? Is it good? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if y'all in here. Let me see what you got. Let me see what you got. If you're in here, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you can hear me. All right. Okay. Give everybody a second to jump up in here and check us out. We're going to get started in this in a second. Yeah. All right. All right. So, okay. All right, y'all. So let's get ready to jump into this subject matter, if I will. All right. So here we go. So wanted to take a moment to get this live started and discuss a couple of topics regarding growth in commerce, growth in your business life, growth in your professional life. All right. You know how it goes. We often like, as humans, we like entertainment. We like ways to keep us busy outside of grinding sometimes because it helps pass the time. It helps pass the thought process of being bogged down by obligations all the time, in which you are obligated to perform. You got to make money to pay the bills and all that good stuff. So you don't really have an opportunity to sit back and relax sometimes. So I know how it goes. Okay. So let me know if y'all can hear me over the music. Okay. So here's what we got. We're going to hit a little topic on this. We want to address the issue of how to advance or next level advancement far beyond daily entertainment value and things like that. Now, let me begin by saying this. It's okay to have a day or your livelihood with entertainment in it, because the days that you're not grinding, you're probably doing nothing productive. And if you're some of those people we would call workaholics and you're always trying to accomplish something, you can't really fault yourself or anyone that, walks that line, because everyone has a certain and a set path that they want to embark upon, because success is what you want to make it, not what someone else says it is in your life. It's what you say it is for your life. So obviously you're going to set your own parameters for how you move. Okay. So I wanted to start by saying that your idea of success is not going to equivocate someone else's. It's not going to be congruent. So that means whatever your life looks like to you and where you want it to be is what you need to invest in said life, and you allow everybody else to do what everybody else does. But then when you come down off of that proverbial high of, running around and, burning off steam or whatever you want to call it, it's always time to get back to work. Okay. That begins with setting your standards high, because entertainment value is entertainment value. We can get on the internet and we could get on the YouTube space and we could talk, entertainment value things all day long. And that's beautiful. It's fun. Gives you a chance to ingratiate yourself in certain aspects of what's being offered as far as content. But at the end of the day, you still need to have your stuff in order. You got to have you better have your ducks in a row. Okay. And tonight I'm going to talk about how you can free yourself in some of those aspects outside of YouTube. Whereas when you're working, you get bogged down with that mentality where you got to get up and go to someone else's place of employment every day. That's fine. But if you're looking for a way out of that, if you want to find a way to be self-sufficient and to take your own life into the next level, then there's a way to do that. We'll talk about that a little bit too. All right. So we'll cover a couple of those topics. All right. So first, as it pertains to involvement, the first thing I tell people is you are the average of the 5 or more people that you hang around. Okay? The 5+ people that you ingratiate yourself with, you are the average of those people. So that average is you. It's not so much the common denominator, which you can look at it that way, but the average is you. So if you hang around different kinds of people who don't support your actions and your ideologies in life, you are the product of the 5 people. You are the dividend at the end of the day. You hang around 10 guys that ain't worth anything. Guess what? The average of those 10 guys equals you. That's just the truth. So number one, this all begins with recreating your own livelihood in terms of who you ingratiate yourself with and where you set your own values, where you set your own standards and your own goals and the outlook on life that you want. You have to first identify the right people to have in your life. Because to be honest with you, people sometimes will disappoint you, whether you realize it or not, and it happens. But you have to be a person of sound integrity to recognize that and to rebound and, do what's best for you. And that requires really a close observation of your own layout of your life. You have to look at, okay, where am I going with this? Where am I going with that? And then you just basically employ a strategy. Okay. You're going to have certain ideals and things that you will probably hold near and dear. But at the end of the day, if you're not advancing as a result of that, it's probably not within your best interest anyway. And everything isn't always about money and about having this and having that. It's not. But it's good to know that whatever you put your time into, it's going to pay a dividend to some degree, whether it's financial, whether it's emotional, whether it's camaraderie, or whatever the case may be. It's always good to know that you have amassed that level of camaraderie amongst people that you deal with. And so basically, getting a call, y'all. So sorry about that. So basically, how you ingratiate yourself with your livelihood and how you put yourself in position to make things happen, how you move things, how you groove things, that's going to come down to you. But you never want to put yourself in a position to where you are inundated with nothingness. So everything in your life needs to be propagated towards development. Okay. So real quick, and we're not going to spend a lot of time in this live. Like I said, I just wanted about a few minutes of your time just to catch your ear, pass a little bit of knowledge across the bow. I'm always trying to drop knowledge and inspire people to do great things one way or another. So at the end of the day, one of the things you want to do is select a good supporting cast and an audience of people who you can build with. And I mean, truly build. When I say build, I'm talking about, different types of business, different types of family, stuff like that. Choose the right people to be in your corner. And what you want to do is once you do that, you have to see if you're basically in like mind where you can actually grow or develop a strategy to advance yourself, whether it be business transaction or a new idea, a hobby, whatever it might be. Of course, for me, it would be business. But if you have an idea or a way to deploy a business strategy with people who share a commonality with you, this is where you want to learn how to put yourself in the right company with the right people. Okay. But again, putting yourself in the wrong company can basically degrade your performance, and it will hinder your growth and your development, and most importantly, your outlook on life and how you see things. You guys ever seen somebody where you be around and the way they see things isn't necessarily not the way you see things. But then the longer you hang around them, you either one or two things gonna happen. One of you gonna win the other over. If you're around someone that sees life a certain way and you see life another way, and even if you saw life the same way, there's always going to be something that he's into that you're not into, or she's into that you're not into, one way or the other. And one's going to pull. It's a pull and a push. Okay, you're never going to 100% go the same direction with everything that you see, do, think, or act upon. You're going to one way or another. You're going to go one way, someone's going to go another way. But here's the difference. As you are around certain people, the way that they see life will either win you over, or the way you see life is going to win them over, and eventually somebody's going to influence somebody. Okay, that's just the reality of it. Someone's going to push someone one direction or another. Now, if you are sound mind, body, spirit, mental strength, fortitude, all that good stuff, then you need to have your ducks in a row where you're actually the influencer, especially if you have things going on where you can influence somebody or put them in a position to win. So when you have certain people around you, it's really about showing them something that they don't have going on, where they can actually win and be a part of something, or a winning team or a winning culture. That's what you want to build, a winning culture around you. Okay, because it's so simple to get on a losing team and deal with people who are losers, or people who ain't never going to have anything going for them. You know, just limitation, a life of limitations. Okay, you're going to have a lot of that. So you want to map out a path and choose the right supporting cast around you to help you reach that goal. Okay, so that's number one. It's always the selection process. Who is in your corner? Who do you have with you to help you reach the goal? No one reaches a goal on a certain mountaintop without certain people around them. Okay, so you're going to have a push or a pull. So it's always good to find your team. Okay, so whatever your idea is on wanting to advance yourself business-wise, I have plenty of ideas I can share, but it depends on what you guys want to do. You build your team around your vision, and then those who support that will either want to come in and be a part of it, or they want to contribute, or they want to invest in it, or something to that degree. And then you kind of build it from there. All right. So every single thing you do when it comes to advancement of a commercial situation or a commercial system, specifically when it pertains to enterprise, is going to come down to you and what you put around you. Your selection process must be strong. All right. Number two, your etiquette. Okay. Your etiquette is so important, people. I'm telling y'all, this is a cheat code for y'all that don't know. You can be down on your luck and lose everything and not have anything positive going in the direction that will propel you in your life. You could be down on nothing. But I'm telling you, if your etiquette shines through all the time, people notice that. That's a main ingredient of character. Okay? Your etiquette is reminiscent and reflection of your character. Okay, if you can conduct yourself with proper etiquette for the most part of your life, everybody's gonna have moments. We're all gonna have moments where it's not so bright, not so great, not so happy, not so positive. But at the core of who you are, what does your etiquette look like? Can I lay down at night and wake up in the morning and say, "Yep, I know that guy or that lady is gonna be the same as they were the day before, and they're not gonna do anything crazy to jeopardize my operation"? Can I trust them? Can I put anything behind them? Can I invest in what they got going on as a person? Can I bring them into my enterprise and help propel me, and I can push them? Can I get the best out of them? Your etiquette is what people think about. It's not so much what you do or don't do sometimes, because we all make mistakes. We all are forgiven at some point. Not the people that hold grudges, but I'm saying we all go through something positive and something negative at different parts of our lives. But the point is, where is the line to where your etiquette will shine through and they can take notice of that, so that either you can grow or they can grow, or you both can grow together. Now, I'll tell you something. People who are in position to help you succeed all around you to some degree, They never forget your etiquette. That's number one. I'm telling you, I have people call me all the time I ain't talked to in a year. Hey, man, what's going on, man? I got a transaction I want you to help me with. I got something I want to give you. Really? Let me see. And they come back and say, man, I've been talking to all these people, man, but the professionalism isn't there. You the person I always remember. I always come back to you because your professionalism. Etiquette, man. I'm telling y'all, etiquette reigns supreme. That is other than choosing your team and selection process for who's around you, your etiquette is the biggest thing that you have going for you. So if you're a person that your character is a little bit flawed or character issues and people have to question who you are as a person and stuff like that, that ain't gonna work for you. It's not gonna last either. You're gonna have a whole lot of situations where people are gonna kind of look at you and say, I don't know about that dude. You might talk a good game and you might embark a little bit and, convince a lot of people of this and that. But at the end of the day, your etiquette is what speaks the loudest about you. It's how you conduct oneself. That is what's going to get you the callbacks from the upper echelons of people in society. Ask yourself, when was the last time a CEO dialed your number? When's the last time a person worth millions of dollars called your phone and asked you for your advice or for your services to help propel what they got going on? When was the last time? When was the last time a manager of a large firm called you and wanted to hire you as a contractor? Not as just a guy to get a job. When's the last time people with value actually dialed your number instead of asking you for something? Oh man, hey, when just a bunch of no-name people just dial your phone all day, just want to shoot the breeze and ain't nothing going on. You get a lot of that. Everybody does. But when was the last time a person of value called you and truly wanted to take advantage of what you can help them with in their enterprise? When's the last time that happened? Ask yourself that. Because if it's not happening for you, that means you have not chosen the right team. Number one. Number two, your etiquette is not what those people think about, or you just haven't met those people. And you probably never will if you don't think like I'm telling you. Okay? You have to meet the right people. And the only way to meet the right people and to advance your life and put yourself in a position to win and have success in business and commerce, you have to have sharp etiquette. You have to shape and sharpen your etiquette. That's it. Omar Tillman, what's going on, my dear brother? Good to see you up in here, man. Omar's my G, y'all. Y'all go and check out Omar. Omar, I don't know if you got a channel or not yet, brother. I think we've been talking about that for a while. Yeah, Omar, we're just talking about the pillars of what make you successful commercially. And I'm just laying it out for everybody, man. Just want to give people something to look at, something to think about. Again, y'all, your etiquette is what shines through. What's up, Mr. Cole? What's happening with you? Trisha was good. Glad you made it up in here. We're just having a little bit of talk on how to shine through and have success in etiquette. Well, different parts of success, obviously. Etiquette is what reigns supreme. And like I was just saying, when was the last time a CEO dialed your phone? When's the last time a business owner of some sort that's killing it in their game decided to call you and hire your organization or hire you for a specific role to help build what they have going on as a contractor, not as a job, but a contractor, as a business-to-business service? When the last time that happened to you? Well, guess what? That doesn't happen to people who have bad etiquette. If your etiquette is questionable, if they have to think long and hard about bringing you into the fold of what they have going on, you're not getting that call. Guess who's going to get that call? One of your competitors or one of the people that you may have heard of that is actually displaying the type of characteristics that an entity worth something is going to want to ingratiate themselves with. That is who they're going to call, not you. Okay, that's what we're here to do tonight, is to show you how to get that call. I want to show you guys how to take your game to the next level. Number two, etiquette. You have to display proper etiquette at all times. I know it sounds weird. I don't care where you go. You go to Taco Bell, you stand in the line, proper etiquette. You go to the grocery store, proper etiquette. It doesn't matter where you go outside your house, you have to exude proper etiquette, because people want to be in business with people who look like they know what they got going on and who are always in command of their own livelihood. And if you can conduct yourself in an orderly fashion 24/7, you're the person who's going to get that call. You're the person they're going to talk to. All right. you're going to be that entity that's going to get that notification in the middle of the night. Hey, we need you for a service. Can we hire you to come on down to Texas or to California? Can we fly you over here? Can we do this? Can we do that? Yes, I'm available. Let me see what my schedule look like. No, I have this going on, but this is my charge, $50K. All right, no problem. They're willing to pay. See, here's the thing that most people don't understand. If you're not in business, if you're in business, you get this. I'm not teaching you anything new. If you are in business and your services are top notch, at least in the eyes of those that matter, you're going to get calls all the time for different things. And guess what? Whenever you lay a fee or a service down for the cost for it, they're going to gladly pay it. They're going to gladly get in line to pay it one way or the other. So it's truly about how you lay out a path for yourself and how you display oneself amongst those who have everything. Because if you don't have, if you're dealing with people who don't have anything, you're not going to have anything. Well, how do you get in company with people who have everything? Well, you have to give them or display value to these people. And you do that by sharpening your etiquette. Number 3, okay, your presentation. Now, see, presentation, I've said this before, it shines through in a multitude of ways. It's how you speak. It's how you enunciate your words. It's how you can formulate a sentence. It's about your vernacular. These types of things. These are the things that actually matter. You know what I'm saying? People in the know who run and control the world, they want to be in the company of people who know how to run and control the world, because they're going to partner with people who know how to control and run the world when they don't feel like doing it. They're going to call you and hire you to do it because they don't want to see a drop off. People that have a lot going on, who have a lot of value, a lot of worth, they want to be around or in the company of people that also have that same mentality. Because if they don't feel like doing something, or if they want to hire another entity to take over one aspect of their lives or their business, they're calling the people who most resemble them. Those are the people they're going to call first. Okay. So you're going to, if you notice, now here's a funny thing. I'm going to share some with y'all. If you look at the level of calls or emails or messages you receive, if they don't exceed a certain level of a certain kind of person or a certain type of enterprise, it's because you don't come across that way. It's simple. You don't come across like a person that's worthy of their attention. Okay. If a person, let's say an attorney firm or a export company or a logistics company or a tech entity of some sort, if they're not calling you to hire you to purchase certain products or whatever through your entity, that means you're not on their radar. Okay. Nothing wrong with not being on their radar. That means you have to get there. But if you don't put yourself in position to be that person that's even in consideration for being on their radar, you're never even going to get sniffed. They're going to pass up your webpage every time. You just be another dime a dozen person that they really don't need to know. And they won't try to know. They won't even make the attempt to know you. So identifying the right people that can take your life to another level is very key. Your selection process of the people around you is key. You almost have to be able to identify value people when you walk around every day, even in public. You need to be able to spot these people out, and you'll see them in the weirdest places. Believe it or not, they'll be at the tire shop getting a new tire, or they'll be, at the grocery store. You would not know it, but a lot of people, they just pass by people all day and they never formulate conversations because it's all about, oh, I don't want to say nothing to anybody. I don't want to strike up a conversation. You never know who you're going to meet, but you have to be able to identify certain people. Okay. And it's all in the way they move. It's their mannerisms. It may not be what they're wearing all the time. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But for the most part, it's always the mannerisms. See, that's the core of how to identify the right people. Okay. The core of identifying the right people is looking at how a person moves. Okay, watch how they move around. What they have in their hand. What are they looking at in the grocery store? What type of food do they have their hands on? Are they got a can of Spam in their hand, or do they have some prosciutto? You know what I'm saying? These are things you have to recognize. What are they buying? You see them at a department store. What type of clothing are they buying? Are they buying an ascot or are they buying a clip-on tie? You see what I'm saying? What kind of shoes are they looking at? Are they looking at some cemented soled shoes, or are they looking at some Goodyear welted Oxfords? See what I'm saying? What kind of shirts are they looking at? Slacks, dresses, whatever. You have to be able to identify people of value, everybody. You have to be able to identify people of value. And then here's the thing. Even if you identify people of value, you have to then know how to automatically default to conversation mode. You have to be a people person. You have to be able to approach any and everybody and be able to have a common ground with them. Now, you don't have to be like them. You don't have to think like them, but you have to be relatable. Okay. You have to have that type of gear that you can shift to that makes people say, now this guy's interesting, or this lady's interesting. What about them gives me the focus to want to involve myself with this person? Why should I? Because normally they're going to be looking around trying to figure out who cannot waste their time and how to cut them out of their lives. That's what they're going to be doing. That's what most people with success will do. They're not going to waste much time. And if you're a person that's all about wasting time, you need to stop. You need to recalibrate your livelihood and re-optimize your life to where you are taking advantage of every opportunity that's in front of you. Success ain't going to happen all the time, but it'll happen sometimes if you're consistent. You have to have a level of consistency. All right. If you are consistent about the way you move, the right opportunities will eventually find you. The right people will eventually find you. But that's going to take some effort on your part too. Don't be one of those people, oh, I'm going to manifest it. It's going to drop on my lap. No, it's not. You can't manifest everything. You have to actually put in the work. You have to dress the part, look the part, think the part, act the part, carry yourself a certain way, brush up on your knowledge, read some books. You have to become valuable. All right. You must become valuable. People do not keep people around them who are not valuable. And if they do keep you around them, they're not going to come to you for certain things. I've seen wealthy people go to the hood just to blow off steam, but the people in the hood think, oh, I can talk to him about opening up a barbershop. Well, guess what? That wealthy man that you know that's got bread, he don't care anything about a barbershop. He want to learn about how to buy the next round of crypto and why it's going to be so valuable in the next 5 months, or why it's going to have a bull run. Can you tell him that as a hood person that talking about hood stuff? No. Okay. Pick up a book. You know, get out there and open up some of this avenues for opportunity. And that's going to require you to put a little effort in to sharpen your sword. That means your mind has to be sharp. Your look has to be sharp. Your presentation has to be sharp. Your etiquette has to be sharp. These are all elements of what it requires to take your game to the next level and advance. And this is about next level stuff now. That's what we're talking about. How to go next level. See, money follows money. Have you ever seen a wealthy person invest in a person look like they don't have nothing going on or don't sound like they have anything going on? When was the last time you heard of a person with capital even looking the direction of a person that don't even look like it or even sound like they have anything happening? Who's going to, okay, go to Shark Tank. You guys saw that. Go watch Shark Tank. Those people that march into that vestibule to talk to Kevin O'Leary and Barbara Cochran and Mark Cuban and Damon John. You see these people that go in there to talk to them? They're sharp. They're sharp. They have their head on. They put in the work to build their organization or build their small company to a point to where other people will see the value. And then you know what happens? Once they start talking about the entity and what it's done for the community or what it's done for the world, the sharks, they pick up on it right away. They say, oh, shoot, this is valuable. And guess what they start doing? Pitching. I'll give you $1 million for 80% of your company. And they're like, whoa. And then they start battling for the position. They start posturing and jockeying for position to take advantage of a new, unique opportunity that wasn't in front of them before that meeting. So if you think about it, if you're in front of the company of people with something, you have to come across in all shapes, sizes, and forms, mentally, physically. They have to feel your energy, and they have to believe that you believe it, and you have to show the value in what you built, or else it's going to be just another thing they're going to throw in the trash pile or on the clearance rack. That's what's going to happen. And your entity is going to be one of those things. And you can't get mad at anyone because you didn't put the time in. You have to put in the time, but it starts with you first and you build from the inside out. It's crazy. I see so many people try to build from the outside in and it doesn't work. They'll go out there, they'll get all this Gucci and Louis and gold chains and all these diamond crusted watches, but the inside is rotten. The inside is rotten. Like you haven't done no work on yourself from the inside out. You can talk this game about how impactful you are and how you lead a mass of people and all this stuff, but guess what? Your inside is rotten. Your core is rotten, and people can tell. They know it. So you know what happens? You're never going to have a chance to really get anything done because those people aren't going to believe in you. And they're going to see everything about you that is not authentic. It's going to be inauthentic. And so when you go to try to sell yourself, it's not going to come across as being solid. So what you have to do is build yourself from the inside out. Like I said, your etiquette, your presentation, your look, it all comes home. Now, I'm not saying be fake. Okay, that's not what I'm telling you. We're not talking about just dressing it up and putting a fresh coat of paint on top of bull crap. See, if that was the case, I'd tell you to go out and get your clothes and stuff first. See, but that is not what's going to cut it. You have to build a new mindset first. That's where it starts. See, your mind is your mind is the control center. It all starts in your mind. You have to change the way you eat, change the way you wake up, change the way you sleep, change the way you look, change the way you dress. Everything starts with your mind. And then it filters outside of your brain. It goes to your look, because the first thing's gonna happen is, oh, my mind, I'm a toxic thinking person. Like everything about me is toxicity on 1,000 times 1,000 to the 1,000th power. If you have toxicity in the way you move, in your mindset, people of value can sense it and they're going to get you out of their way. They're going to say, I don't want that person around me. That's what's going to happen. Toxic people don't want to be in the company of other toxic people. Well, I'm sorry, people of value, they don't want to be in the company of toxic people because you slow down their business and their success. They're not going to have you around them. They're going to just move you to the side and they're going to keep it moving. They're going to say, I don't want this dude around me or this lady around me. Get out my face. So you're going to have to sharpen the sword, put yourself in a situation where it'll work for you. That's what you got to do. So basically, that's going to be number one, people. All right. We're going to have to start there. Building a fortress around oneself. Okay. That's going to require you to put yourself in a position to where your thinking has to be edited. You're going to have to edit everything. You're going to have to edit everything. Your mindset, the way everything's got to be changed. Everything's got to be different. All right. It just has to be. And then once you start doing that, people of value will say, I can put money behind this guy. I can invest in this business. I can help take his business to the next level. See, you know what? A lot of people have a misconception. They think the way a business grows is by making money. That's not how a business grows. Business doesn't grow by sales and how much money you make. That's not how a business grows, everybody. I'm going to share something with y'all. This is another trade secret. Business does not grow. Like if you opened a department store or a chain store or something like that, you don't grow by just how you sell. You might sell out every quarter of everything you have, but guess what? All you're doing is making enough to buy more product and pay your staff. That's it. You're not growing by just making sales. See, sales is a representation of how important your product is and why people should have it. Okay? So sales really doesn't do a lot to grow you the way you might think. Let me tell y'all a secret. Y'all know what grows a company? Investment, investors, people that buy stock in your company, people that buy shares of your company or membership units if you're an LLC. That is how you grow your company. So in essence, if I have a company and I'm selling $500,000 worth of product every month, well, to the average person, that's successful. But it's not successful when they see I have an inventory or invoice I got to pay, where I got to reorder more product and my profit margin's only 12%. And I'm living off that 12%. I gotta pay employees salaries. I got payroll to make. I gotta pay light bill and all the stuff to run my enterprise. So am I really succeeding by just making sales? No, I can keep the lights on. That's about it. I can keep the lights on. That's roughly what's going to happen. Sales will give you more volume, but it also brings more cost. That's not how you grow. I mean, it keeps a neon light on outside your building to tell everybody you're there, and it allows you to pay your rising utility costs for the building that you have. All this stuff is relative, right? That stuff actually means something. But the way that you grow your enterprise, you have to go out and get investors so you can go out and open a new location. Sales ain't going to get you in a position to earn enough to do that. You'll be at that location for 15 years before you make enough off sales to do that. No, you have to show value in what you've amassed as an enterprise. And once you display that and you display yourself to be that kind of person that someone can invest in, guess what happens? Now they're like, hey, we want to invest in your brand. Well, guess what you're going to do when they put up that $500K check in your pocket at one fell swoop? Now you can go buy another enterprise. Now you can go buy another building. Now you can buy fleet vehicles. You can buy more vans or more equipment. And then guess what you do? Once you take it to that level, now you replicate yourself again. Now you got investors. And you pay them a return on whatever their investment is, and you exit them out and you move on to the next stage of the project to advance your company. Eventually, you get large enough to guess what? You take the company public. You do a reverse merger. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a reverse merger, but that's how you take your company public from being private, and you go maybe on the pink sheets. Now you can start trading stock on your company. Okay? That's the way. That's how you grow your company. But none of that's going to happen if your mindset ain't right. It starts with your brain. Once you rewire your brain and re-optimize the way you move, people will start coming to you because they'll see, I need to be in business with a guy that thinks like that or a lady that thinks like that. That's who I need to be around. I need to be with them. The way they move, the way they carry themselves. I want to do a JVA with them. I want a joint venture agreement with that entity. Now they see value. They're like, oh, shoot, he's got one building. That's cool. I see a vision with this dude. I'll put in $1 million. Because I think if I put in $1 million, he might open 3. Oh, we all gonna make a lot of money. Well, guess what? Now you've advanced yourself. Now you've grown your company. The ability to have people invest in your enterprise is how you grow it. You have to get investors. Okay, or else you're gonna be just on a treadmill. Again, you can open a building and you can be in that building just doing your thing. I mean, it looks good. People come in, they buy a shirt, they buy a pair of sneakers, they buy a t-shirt, they buy a headband or whatever you sell. Oh, that looks good. Oh, he's having success. Well, they don't get to see you at the end of the month where you got to balance the books, and they say, oh, you go and look at that thing. Oh man, I got a line of credit I got to pay back. I only grossed 13%. Ah man, I ain't even paid my own salary yet. Then you're living off credit on your own. Now you got to try to figure out a way to make payroll. All this type of stuff. I know because I've done it. Okay? So I'm trying to tell you. Selling things and doing that stuff out of a brick and mortar location is good. It looks great. But you're going to still be in one location. You ever seen those family businesses? Like, let's say, for instance, soul food restaurant, like in the Black community, we have soul food restaurants. You have these soul food restaurants, man, they've been around for 15, 20 years. But they ain't did anything to the building. It's still that old creaky floor when you walk in there. The door don't shut all the way. They got one fan. The ceiling tiles are brown because it's water that seep through the roof. And you kind of like, but the food is good. But why aren't they growing? Like, what is going on? Like, why are they still in the same location, the same part of town where, you know, the sweet tea is good, the cornbread is slamming, the greens are good, mac and cheese is slamming, but they still here and nothing's changing. Like, and you see a line out the door of people buying their stuff. And I sit back and go, what is going on with the owner of this company? Like, why aren't they growing? Like, why the building still look like it's unkempt, hasn't been updated or nothing since I came here as a 20-year-old. Like, what's going on? Well, the answer is simple. No one is investing in that business. They just making enough to pay payroll. They're barely scratching the surface to keep the doors open, keep the lights on. And that's what's going to happen. So you're going to find a lot of that type of stuff. If you go to some of these small businesses throughout the city, throughout the neighborhood, you'll see the same business. Sometimes it's been there forever, or either they're out of business. And that the reason why businesses go out of business within 5 years or less, it's not because they're not making money. No, that's not it. It's not because people don't like the products or whatever. The problem is you don't have investment. You need working capital. Working capital. Investment. You need someone to either give you a line of credit or you have to have investors. Okay. And you have to develop a very, very supreme level product to get investors. That requires a lot of work. See, that's what you see on Shark Tank. See, on Shark Tank, you don't see any of these. See, those people that go on Shark Tank, they're not begging, because you've seen some of those people cocky enough to turn down the office of Shark Tank sometimes. They'll go in there and they'll say, you know what? Nah, I think we'll pass on that deal. Oh, no. We'll give you $1 million. No. I've seen people turn down the sharks a lot because they know what they have. They know the value of what they've built. And the sharks also know it. But guess what the difference is? The sharks won't end. They won't end. They've looked at the projections of the company. They've looked at the balance sheets. They've looked at the P&Ls, the profit and loss statements. They've seen all of that. They know what the company can do. They know how much debt, and if they're in the red or in the green or operating in the negative, they already know. They know what the expenditures are of their business. They can see it. But guess what? The difference is they are willing to invest. And those people will say, oh, we're now notice something else. Notice something else. Those people that go to Shark Tank, when they walk in there, the first thing they say is, we're looking for an investment or a partner for this amount of money for this return or for this amount of ownership. We're looking for 500K or 300K, or we're looking for $1 million. They'll tell right up front that in the business owner always tells the sharks what they're looking for. And the sharks will counter with an offer to buy them out, to buy a larger chunk of what they don't want to sell, or give them some kind of deal that they probably aren't looking for in the market for. But the owner of the business always tells the sharks what they are looking for every single time. And the business owner says, oh, shoot. Either it works for them or it don't. Either they in or they out. But the beauty is they know their own value, and the sharks recognize that value, and the sharks want a piece of the pie because they're willing to invest in a burgeoning enterprise. See, that's where you got to be, people. You have to become your own brand. You have to be a burgeoning enterprise. You have to create what people see as valuable to get them to invest. Sales looks good. It'll keep the lights on, but you'll be running on a hamster wheel to pay the bills for another month. And it becomes a redundant approach. Every day it's the same. You're just struggling to survive. You're not really growing. To grow, you have to create something of value, and you have to get someone of value to want to put up their money behind it in large sums. Okay, not just buying a shirt or a jacket or something that's going to cost $82 or whatever. That's good for the balance sheet, but it's not good for growth. You need someone to give you $82,000. Okay, good. I can buy more product. I can get another location. I can get more trucks. I can hire a new staff. Now I can increase my level of production. See, in business, it's all about production. After you built yourself and created the value, it's all about production at that level. Now you can produce more. And guess what? That return on investment, that ROI for your investor is now risen. It's now inflated. So now you can give back more to your investor, and then they're going to bring more money. Now you go from 1 location to 3 locations. So now you have 12. Now you got 22 locations statewide. Now you're a regional company with 82 locations. You in every store from Georgia, Texas, all the way up to Wyoming, some freaking where. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And you do all that because you're trying to display to the people that's going to invest in you that the value is there. And they'll see it because they'll see all the locations that are in business with you. Somebody's investing in this company, and they're not doing it all on sales. Sales just dominates the market. It just gives you market share. That's all sales are going to do. It just proves to the world that your product is better than something somebody else saw somewhere else. because you're not going to be the only restaurant in the universe. You're not going to be the only cell phone boutique store. You're not going to be the only shoe store. You're not going to be the only sports apparel store. It's going to be multiple of those out there. But your sales will display to investors that you are outpacing your rivals. That's what it's going to do. You will outpace your rivals, and investors will notice that. Chris Griggs, what's up, my brother? Chris Griggs in the house is another one of my G's. What's good with you, man? Yeah. Telling y'all, man, straight up. You have to go out here and take a look at what is important. You have to understand that if you're going to start an enterprise, you have to be something that people see as valuable. And then you have to build something that's valuable. See, it's a two-way street. You have to be valuable, and people have to see value in you, and what you create has to see value. I'm talking about on a corporate scale. I'm not talking on a street level. That's good. Street level value only equates to sales. That's about all. It's not going to take you to the next level, though. You have to breach that next level. You have to position yourself as a valuable enterprise so that people will start putting money behind you. So I can show you how to do that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to happen by just selling stuff. So just understand that's just one. It's just a couple of the areas. That's the game I want to drop for tonight. I could be on here all night talking about this stuff. I can go 15, 20 hours straight talking about business because I love it. And it's what I do. Okay. I do it pretty well. So the ideology, again, your mindset. I'm going to keep that brief. I ain't going to stay any longer than that. Your mindset, number one. Okay. Number two, it's going to be the way you mentally conduct yourself. It's going to be how you put on, how you look, how you move, how you think. Okay. All of that's going to go hand in hand with your mindset. You start building yourself from the inside out. Okay. Mindset first, appearance and etiquette, all that good stuff. Number two. Okay. Then number three, ingratiating yourself with the proper supporting cast of people. Now I'll say number four, building a brand. Number five, investment capital or working capital. Okay. These are the areas that you need to lock your mind around. These are the areas that's really going to draw the dividing line between you and somebody else. This is where you want to be. This is how you grow. All right. That's pretty much it, everybody. And I'm going to keep this live real short. We've been on here going, 50 minutes and 17 seconds. That's all I wanted to talk about. We'll have a series of these. Don't worry. I have another one. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe to this content. Okay. This will go up on the YouTube algorithm a little bit. It'll probably get 10 views, but that's fine. Somebody somewhere will take acknowledgement of it and, draw from the value of it. Hopefully I left some value here tonight. But these are things that I share with business owners all the time. This stuff I help businesses with all over the world. All over the world. I help businesses with this very thing all over the world because they want to grow and they want to put themselves in position to win. And, as long as that's where your mind is and you are looking to advance, this is a video you need to watch. All right. So that's pretty much it, everybody. I appreciate everybody for pulling up in the chat. All my good people who I know. Thank y'all for supporting. Coming up here, Omar Tillman, Trish Nicole, Chris Griggs. Appreciate y'all, man. And stay tuned because there will be another chapter or series to go along with this. All right. So with that being said, it's your boy Quantum, and I'm out this joint, y'all. Peace out.